Hi, mommy.
Hi, mommy.
Welcome to My Kids Are Cuter Than
Nice
Yours.
to
I'm
meet
so
you.
excited to have you here. I would like to introduce you all to Kiana Leroux. Tell the people a little bit about you. We're going to go through a couple rapid fire questions just so we can learn a little bit more about Kiana and who we're talking to. So, what is your sun, moon, and rising?
That's crazy.
I'm such a zodiac girl.
No, because I ask people that all the time. People
Oh
are
my
like, why are you asking me that?
gosh.
Oh girl. So my sun is Leo.
Oh,
My moon is Scorpio. And my rising is Aries. I know. So it's a lot
ooh.
of fire, water. I feel like the water balances me out though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, my sun is Scorpio, my rising is Leo, and then my moon's in Capricorn. I
What?
know.
Oh, that's
I
how
know.
we were chatting. Like that's how we were. It's so compatible. Yeah, but it's
I
crazy.
feel like
It's
that's
like
a
so
good
much.
place to be right tonight.
Just
We have
chilling.
children on set. Oh, thank you so much.
You can't just eat it. You have to
Bring
actually enjoy it.
I know,
Like
it's bring your kids to work day every day over here. Actually, and you always have your baby with you, it looks like,
all the
allegedly.
time. Yeah,
Your
allegedly.
alleged
Right?
baby.
Allegedly I have two kids. You know, that's what they're saying. The doctor just handed them to me and said they were yours. So I guess
This
it's
is your
mine.
baby.
Allegedly, guilty until proven innocent.
Okay. What are 3 things that you are grateful for today?
Well, first, my kids. Those are my balance and my reason and my purpose. So definitely them. Stability, honestly, like just being blessed with stability and having a cup that can overflow into others is a big blessing for me. And God, like my relationship with God this year has transformed into just this pinnacle of existence for me. Like I can't even exist without praying. I pray over everything. Even in the Uber just now, I was praying over my day. So
Yeah.
those are my big three.
You say like this
Yeah,
with the
we
big
like
man.
this. Like, and it's crazy because my relationship with God is hilarious because I'm like, God, we talk like we friends. So
I love that.
yeah, I
There's
love it.
this one creator on TikTok where he'll always be like, "I just had my phone call with God," and I'm like, "Oh, I love
I think I seen
that."
that recently on my For You page, and I was like, period. What he say? Like,
And what is he reporting back with?
uh,
Okay, so let's jump into you and your background and essentially just like where you've come from, what's brought you here today. So, you've survived so much. And when I was reading into your background, I was like, oh my gosh, this is just like a girl after my own heart. You are just someone who has lived life and you've gotten
mm,
to a point where it's like you're a big sister because you're just so wise, which is funny because it's
thank
like
you.
you
I'm a little baby.
exactly.
Like I'm still young or whatever.
So between like shelters, postpartum in the pandemic, and trauma, tell us a little bit about your life and what's brought you here today.
Yeah. It's crazy because, well, starting with content, I would say was definitely an accident that happened for me during the pandemic. I had a little baby, stay-at-home mom at the time while I was on maternity leave, and I started doing content. But before that, I moved out of my mom's house when I was like 17 and jumped straight into the streets. Like it was very much like, begging for money, begging for food, and homelessness and living with strange people and couch hopping. And it was just a lot of self-sufficiency I had to develop over time and street smarts. That's how I first learned how to actually take the subway by myself because I lived on the subway. So, and I lived in Penn Station, and it was just an experience that I used to always tell my sisters I was going through so they and my future daughters wouldn't have to live.
Yeah.
And now at 30 years old, those experiences are now my full-time job because I now have a community of people that have heard my story. And so it's like my past of starving is actually the thing that I eat from now. So that's really interesting, full circle moment. But I just, even through the homelessness and stuff, I was homeless when I was pregnant with my first daughter
Yeah.
for a little while. And me and her dad got a place and stuff. But your girl was struggling, and I started TikTok working an overnight job and just recording in my car or while her dad was at work. And I don't know, I didn't know it was gonna work out, but When I got my first big brand deal, I looked at her dad and I was like, "Listen, he's a Capricorn, so he's very like, it has to make sense." And he was like, "You're gonna quit your job over one brand deal?" And I said, "Yeah, because at the time that one brand deal could cover my year's rent." And I had never seen that type of money, but I was like, God is purposeful, and everything I went through, I always thought it was gonna be a part of a bigger story one day, I didn't know how, and now that's my entire life. Ever since I quit my job, I have never gone hungry, and neither have my children, thankfully, and through that journey, I got married, last year, now I'm separated, but it's been quite the journey, but through it all, I'm glad to be able to, like, experience an actual stability for the first time in my life, so,
Yeah.
yeah.
God is good.
God is amazing, okay? Like, that's my home dog, that's my dog.
Somebody actually just left a comment on one of my posts and she was saying, I don't even say God is good anymore. I say God is God because good just doesn't even begin to cover it.
Mm-mm,
And I mean, before I get into my next one, like how how did you build your faith? Like, is
mhm,
that something that you just when you were, in your upbringing, it was just like heavily around you, or was
mm.
that something that you had to cultivate and really build and lean into when you weren't sure what tomorrow was going to look like?
Honestly, I feel like I built my faith by being hard-headed. Like, you know how they say a hard head makes for a soft, behind? I had the normal upbringing, in the sense of, where, like, your mom will teach you to pray at night, and then you have, like, the little Bible studies for kids. I mean, Bible stories for kids books.
Yeah.
That was the most I seen, and I went to church, like, I could probably count on one hand the amount of times I went to church as a kid. So, it was really like God was like a side quest as a child. It wasn't really, like, in the house where it was, like, gospel music and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But and that was just, I guess, because of my mom's relationship with God. She had the relationship, but she probably never got to that point of really, like, sitting in with it.
Mhm.
And through being homeless and stuff, I feel like me being hard-headed and not following my gut and stuff like that, it got me to a point of everything that I went through, I survived it. And it would be the craziest stories, the craziest things happening to me, and I would come out unscathed. And
Yeah.
I was like, something is protecting me because it's damn sure not me. Excuse my French. Sorry.
That's okay.
I get passionate because it wasn't me. Like, I was definitely like,
You're like, "I had no hand in this. I had a
no,
hand in the problem and the chaos,
the
but not in the
I
solution."
was the problem, but I was not the solution. For a long time, I was definitely self-sabotaging, and the only thing that saved me was, I always said, like, it was a guardian angel, but it was God.
Yeah.
And I think once I went through I think when I started doing well in life, I got closer to God. Some people get closer when they're doing the worst. When I was doing the worst, I questioned him often, and I didn't believe often because I was like, if God is real, I wouldn't be
Here,
outside.
yeah.
I remember screaming at the sky when I was sleeping outside one time, and I was like, "You're definitely not real, because why am I out here and I'm a good person as far as I think."
Yeah.
But it was just because it was a process, and God was preparing me for something bigger than me.
Yeah.
So,
Ugh,
yeah.
I love hearing people's, like, testimonies of just how they've come out of a place and they're just like, "Yeah." I also feel like for me, my faith became a lot deeper when I became a mom because I was like, "There's no way I'm surviving on a day-to-day basis on my own."
Girl, like, I be looking at my kids like,
Somebody here is doing a lot more than I am because when I tell you my sanity's holding on by a thread,
mhm,
but also just the ability to create life, it just made me feel so powerful. And I was just like, I feel like this is the closest anybody can really get to
mhm,
the most high. So for me,
mhm,
it was just like, okay, I see you, I feel you.
mhm.
Um, and in terms of that life that you've created, um, how do you take everything that you've been through and then process it into a way where you're not, leading by fear, like you're leading from wisdom?
What was the question? No, I'm joking. 'Cause I'm like,
Like, essentially just, like,
honestly,
how do
I
you not
don't
not,
even
like,
do
project, like, the world is gonna be, hard for you or difficult, like, I've
yeah.
seen it, like, let me just shield you, like, how do you and, like, what does that balance maybe even look like for you?
Honestly, it's really from a place of, like with my kids, I feel like I sometimes have, like, anxiety, and I feel like somebody said it on TikTok. They were like, "People with anxiety and ADHD sometimes are the best people under pressure."
Yeah.
Because things don't really like, my daughter will have a cut, and I'm just like, "Everybody breathe, everybody relax." I feel like I don't project my fears onto my kids because I know that that fear turns into, later on, mental things like anxiety.
Yeah.
And I can see her sometimes get anxious, and I try to, like, calm her down just off of the strength that, like I said before, I've survived everything I've gone through, and every day I wake up and I'm like, "If I survived every day already, I'm gonna survive today." So, I don't really project it onto my kids. I try to kinda act like everything is good even when the house is on fire. And I feel like that kind of helps my kids to have balanced nervous systems because
Yeah.
I'm trying to balance mine,
Yeah.
So, I mean, I survived this far, so
And when it comes to I mean, even what we're talking today, it's all coming back to just you and how you mother yourself first. How did you get from everything that you've lived through to having a balanced nervous system?
yeah. Um I'm not even gonna lie and say it was therapy because I only went through a couple sessions of therapy and I was judging my therapist more than she was judging me. It's like, girl, you're just telling me what I already know. Even
You're
though
like,
I
"I'm too
recommend
self-aware
therapy.
to be here," like
Child, I was looking at the therapist like, let me take notes because I got something about you. Like, it was bad. But I'm too hard headed for therapy, I guess. But I recommend it. But for me, honestly, yeah. I would say journaling. I journal a lot. That's helped me, like, really balance my nervous system out,
Yeah.
and saying my thoughts this is the weirdest thing ever, but, like, looking at them in the mirror when you're going through something and, like, venting and saying exactly what you're feeling, I feel like I pass that on to my kids now, where I tell my daughter, "Use your words." I'm like, if she's feeling an emotion that's heavy, I'm like, "Express it to me, and if you need, like, 5 minutes to figure out what you're even feeling, cool." And sometimes she'll express an emotion that's kinda close to it, like, when she's afraid, she'll say, like, "I'm shy." And I'm like, "Okay, describe what's making you feel shy," and then she'll describe, like, anxiety, and I'm like, "No, you're feeling anxious." And we go from there, and I feel like that is helping me balance my nervous system and hers because it starts with, like, that awareness of,
Yeah.
"What am I feeling right now?" You know? And then you kinda calm down because sometimes you're just being dramatic, it's not even that deep.
I know, not even the kids, like us.
No. Yeah, I'd be like, "Girl, you anxious and we in Yard House, like, it's just loud, like, let's chill." Like, it's never that serious.
Yeah, my
Uh,
kids, whenever they're like I'm very much the household where it's like, it's always okay to cry.
yeah,
There's sometimes though where they'll be crying over maybe like candy or the phone, and I'll be like, you have a little bit of a stinky attitude right now. Like what's causing that?" But now they've taken it and they've flipped it onto me. So like if I'm like rushing them and I'm like, "Guys, like we need to go. I need to get you out of the house." My son will be like, "You have a stinky attitude."
patience. Like, patience, patience.
And I'll be like, "Oh, wait, let me take a step back. Like, what am I feeling? Maybe I don't need to rush you guys." And that
Yeah,
whole self-awareness, I think, is something to cultivate. But do you feel like you always had that?
no.
Like
Girl, no. No, like, I wouldn't even be a content creator if I did have that. But I thrive on F ups. Like,
Yeah.
I've effed up, though, like, not
Ooh.
down.
Ooh.
You get what I'm saying? Like,
Ooh.
when I mess up, I mess
Up.
upward, and I let it elevate me.
You never
So,
trip. You never
girl, like, giving it up. I'm the worst, but I never call. Yeah, so I feel like that's kinda got me to where I'm at now mentally, because I didn't start out like this.
Yeah.
No. But, like, back to your question with childhood, you kinda think about not wanting to put those same, like, generational traumas on your kids, so it forces you to have to heal, because 'cause you're
Yeah.
like, "No, if I don't do it, then they're gonna have to heal for their kids, and if they don't do it, the cycle continues." So it stops with
Yeah.
me, for
Yeah.
sure.
Were you always this anchored in belief in purpose, or was there like a moment, a shift, a catalyst, like a defining moment for you where you were like, things are different for me now?
Um, you know what's crazy? I think that, like I said, I've been building my relationship with God for the last few years, but I think that my separation recently, that was like really a big catalyst of me like just giving it to God. Like
Yeah.
I would literally be so broken some days driving my daughter to school. And then like I got separated when I was 9 months pregnant. So I was like, give it to God, breathe. Sometimes I would be driving on the road and you ever been driving on the road and like you see your ex's car and your whole nervous system shuts down? I was like, God, take the wheel. Like, let me not crash. Like,
No, that happened to me, when I went through my split too, but it was
yeah,
actually his car.
it was his car. Yo, it's so weird because it's like, it's just really like,
Why?
I just wanted to go to Starbucks and now I'm depressed. Like, yeah, so I had to really pray and I started to really like, once I realized that I didn't have to talk to God in just a Christian language, I could talk to God like one of my homies.
Yeah.
Like, God hears you in whatever font that you speak in.
Yep.
And once I realized like I could just kind of like get it off my chest, I stopped getting it off my chest to humans as much. And that saved me
Yeah.
from saying a lot of things that I can't take back. So I feel like going through that separation it really like made me just give it to God. Even deciding to get separated was just like a give it to God moment. And I think without that, I feel like even getting separated, I was telling someone the other day, propelled me 5 years into a growth period that I probably would have had to go through longer.
Yeah.
It was, like, all kind of, like, jumbled into 1 year of growth, and I think that was, like, that defining moment of, like, "I trust you."
Yeah. But I wanna jump into the separation. We're not gonna
Yeah,
get too crazy into it, but,
yeah,
like, I think a lot of women will get to a point and, like, we see the discourse online where women talk about, you know, a slew of issues that they're at with in their relationships and whether they wanna leave, but then this idea of a broken home and keeping your children and your family together and XYZ and the and Lord knows, like, I definitely heard the hoop of it, and I think that some older generations can be like, "No, like, you stay in your family."
yeah,
But then I think that we as mothers especially get to a point where we're like, "You know what? I know what's best for me, and a lot of times what's best for me ends up being what's best for my children." So, you know, in mothering yourself, how did you come to terms with that decision where you were like, "You know what? This is what's best for all of us, and
yeah,
I wanna move forward with this."
yeah. Gratefully, before I got married, I had already been co-parenting with my older daughter's father,
Mhm.
and with me and him with both of my daughter's fathers now, like, I would lead first, I'll say, I respect both of them. And I respect the type of fathers they are. Now, I just with my first daughter's father, we co-parented so normally for a while. Even though we weren't together, we lived together for 4 years. And that was because I wanted to first of all, I couldn't do it without him. You know, like, me and him balanced off of each other together or not, we still made it happen. We did everything together, and I saw that we had a sense of normalcy even though we didn't decide to be together for the child, you know? I
Yeah.
didn't want to be in a relationship where I guess, essentially didn't trust the person just because I wanted my daughter to see us together. And so when I got married a few years later and, things didn't work out or my peace just wasn't peace anymore, I remembered the thought that I had when I first moved out of my first daughter. A happy mother is the pinnacle of a happy child's life, you know? A child is not happy if their mother's not happy, and if you interrupt a mother's peace, you're interrupting a child's peace.
Yeah.
No one can tell me different because I've seen me go through stress in my marriage in front of my daughter. I've seen me go through stress in anything, and nothing is more important than my kids' mental health.
Yeah.
So if it interrupts their mental health, if it even has me ruminating while I'm making them breakfast, it can't be a part of my life.
Yeah.
And thankfully, I did grow up in a single parent household where I didn't see my mom stay for the kids. So that sometimes people will see single parenting as the worst decision, but sometimes it actually creates confident people that can leave any situation that's not for them.
Yeah.
So it was definitely more so. I think if I didn't have my children, I would still be in my marriage because I would be still self sabotaging and sacrificing.
Yeah.
But it's not about me anymore, you know?
Yeah.
So it works out that I left and it's peaceful now. And I respect him.
Oh, being in a place of peace is just the toppest of tier
Mhm.
when you're parenting, when you're co-parenting, when you're just even alone with your kids or like alone by yourself. Like I don't think people really recognize just how much a peaceful woman can really
Mhm.
change the upbringing of her children. There's a number of other things you can take off the table, but it's like if peace is one of those things that comes off the table,
Mhm.
how many other things come crashing down?
Yeah.
Um,
Girl, that's a word.
ugh,
Your
when
whole
I
house resides on your peace.
literally all of
Yeah,
it.
literally everything goes off of the your peace when you're the center of it all. So,
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
that's the thing is that it's like if I'm upset and I'm crying and I'm like pushing down my emotions and my feelings and I'm just, trying to be there with my kids, like I'm still mentally not there.
Yeah.
And that's probably going to result in maybe me being short with the kids or maybe not wanting to do like an outing for the day or not being truly present or maybe rushing bedtime and being like, just go to bed. I want to be alone.
Yes, yeah.
And it's like life isn't meant to be rushed. Like we're supposed to be present. You're supposed to process your feelings and go through them. So if
Mhm.
you're constantly in a state where you're kind of just perpetuating the chaos, it's hard to be at peace when you're raising
It
kids.
is. It really is, especially when you're overstimulated. And some mothers don't have the emotional, not maturity, awareness to even know when they're overstimulated. So
Hmm.
sometimes it turns into traumatizing your kids.
Yeah.
You're overly raising your voice, you're snappy, you're all of that. And you don't even get a moment to like I tell my 5-year-old, sorry, I tell my 5-year-old all the time, I'm like, I'm overstimulated. Give me like
Hmm.
a second to
Yeah.
breathe. And mom guilt is mom guilt. Even saying that, I feel guilty sometimes.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to in the long run because I want her to be a teenager that instead of cursing at me and saying, "Mom, get out of my face," she won't do that anyway. You know what I mean? But no, I'm from New York, so you're not slamming the door in my face. But I do want her to at least be able to tell me like I'm overstimulated. You're asking me too many questions right now, mom. I'll get back to you in like 15 minutes.
Yeah.
I'll respect her because I want her to respect me too. So I got to give her that.
Yeah.
So,
How did you learn those terms? Like for me, it was TikTok. Like for me,
yeah.
TikTok in the pandemic
Mhm.
expanded my
TikTok.
vocabulary in ways that I never knew possible. I was like,
Yeah.
overstimulated? What does
Yeah.
it even mean? Oh, me. That's what it means. Okay.
That yeah, my middle name. Dang.
That's me.
I never spelled it like that before. Yeah.
And so
TikTok.
social media can be such a tool. Let's pull back like a little bit.
Mhm.
So going back to again, like your life experiences and, everything that's led you to here, what would you say is a moment that you've been like so proud of? Like, what would you say is like the proudest moment
Mm.
of your life? Like, of like maybe like the last 5 years?
It's hard to choose because as a mom, of
I
course, I
know,
want to
of
say
course,
my
the babies.
kids, but let's be completely honest. I feel like it was my I made it moment or made it moments. I would say like 2 of them were when I hit 1,000,000 on TikTok because I was like, "What? 1,000,000 people care about me?" Especially when you go into a stadium and you see how many seats there are, and then you
Yeah.
realize that your seats and your platform is like a couple stadiums. It's like, "Okay, people care about what I gotta say."
You have a
Um,
small population, actually.
Bruh, I'm like, you feel me? Like, what is that? It's 8,000,000,000 people in this world and a lot of people with me. Okay. And I would definitely say, watching my daughters, the moment that I found well, not even when I found out I was pregnant, because my daughter was getting ready for school, she really didn't care, what I had to say about being pregnant. She was just like, "Alright,
I have
pass
run
me
out of
my
all that.
shorts, bruh." Like, she didn't care. But it was bringing my daughter home from the hospital, the baby, and seeing their bond
Yeah.
immediately, like, immediately. Seeing that magnet effect, I felt like I could lose everything in the world, but these 2 right here, like, I was afraid because everyone was telling me they weren't gonna get along. They were like, "Kids
Yeah.
fight with each other and stuff like that," and that magnet effect with them 2 has been the proudest moment of, like, my 20s, just growth period. Because it was like, "Damn, everything led up to this moment." So,
Yeah.
that was, like, really dope.
Yeah. See you guys online. I'm like,
Yeah.
like, you can
Yeah.
tell, like, I find, like, when you, like, look at children and you can see the core aspects of their being, it's
Mhm.
so reflective of, like, the person who's raising them, and, like,
Yeah.
they just look like they just love you. They just
Yeah.
look like they're full of love and light and peace and kindness and
Mhm.
patience, and it's
Yeah.
like
I
I
have imposter syndrome at
I know
home,
you're
though.
probably like, "That doesn't sound like me."
Me? Yeah, that's what I feel. Like, literally, these are, like, the most perfect little beings, and they're so cute and so nice and full of love, and I didn't expect that
Yeah.
from me being a chatty little kid, obviously, um, and being, like, hard-headed to have 2 children that are literally, like, the opposite of that. They're chatty and stuff, but, like, it's well, the 8-month-old, she's trying, but there's substance and there's love, and I'm like,
Yeah.
"For me? This is all for me?" Like, it doesn't feel real sometimes, and I get imposter syndrome at home when I see them being, like, these dope individuals, and I'm like, "I don't even belong here." Like, I can't even have a seat at their table because they're cooler than me. Like, like, my kids are way cooler than me, and it's just like, damn. I always tell my 5-year-old, I'm like, "If I was 5 years old, I would definitely be your best friend." Like, she's really a cool kid,
And
so
she's like, "Yeah, you'd be mine."
yeah, and it's, like, crazy. I feel like I'm seeing my growth through them. Like, seeing my daughter even speak to me and tell me, like, "Mom, patience, give me a second." That's growth,
Yeah.
because back in the '90s, if we told our parents, "Patience, give me a second," they were like, "You better patience them dishes."
Mm.
Like, it was very much not the same, so I just I don't know.
And on that, there's a video at the top of your page that you did with
Soleil?
yeah, this little interview, and I loved it so much because it's literally something that I've been identifying, like, over, like, the last 3 months, and you asked her, you were like so you read the card and you were like, "Oh my gosh, I ask you this all the time." And she was like, "What?" And you were like, "No, I ask you this all the time. What can I do, like, to be a better mom?"
Mhm.
And it wasn't so much, "What can I do to be a better mom?" that just so stood out to me. It was the fact that you were like, "I ask you this all the time."
Yeah.
And for me, it just really registered what I'm going through and recognizing, and is that there's so much change happening all the time between my kids, their environments, me, like no 2 days are ever the same.
Yeah.
And so for you to be like, "I see this all the time," it's like you really recognize that who you are today is not who you were yesterday, and the needs that you need to meet for her today are probably not gonna be the needs that she met, like, yesterday. And so for you, like, how do you stay aware and grounded in that constant change?
Um, to be honest, I'm about to go back to school for for psychology.
Oh my gosh, of course you are.
And I love psychology. No, I'm like literally a psych head, like not even just a psych major. I love psychology, and I'm grateful that when I was studying I was studying nursing and I had a psych class
Yeah.
when I had Soleil. And during the pandemic, I was going to school, working, and doing social media. And I dropped out, but I'm glad that was doing psych when I first had her because it gave me so many tools into bringing her up
Mhm.
that it forced me to have like uncomfortable conversations with her at a young age.
Yeah.
And I'll ask her, like I do ask her all the time in the car. We have like little, not daily, but like I don't even schedule it. It's like just random times that we have check-ins,
Mhm.
and I'll be like, "Okay, so what can I do better? How can I say better?" Or she'll express to me now if I hurt her feelings
Yeah.
because I'll ask her
Mm.
like, "Did I hurt your feelings when I said this? How could I say this better?" And one time she was like, "I just want you to like play with me more." And growing up, your parent will be like, "Well, I'm working and I'm doing this, that, and third." And I was like, "Okay, I got you." And I was like, "So what does that look like?" And she told me. Giving her an opening to always communicate with me, I feel like is not only me raising a 5-year-old, but it's me raising her at 15, 25, and so on. So
Yeah.
I realize I'm raising someone's mom, so I kinda get more intentional with, communicating with her, I would say.
Yeah.
So,
And it sounded like the psychology class was just a real tool
it's
to take
healthy. Yeah.
everything and just really help you be able to identify
Yeah.
what's going on, where it's coming from,
Yeah.
and just how to use that to better support her, better support
And
yourself.
find balance in all the chaos. Yeah.
Yes, I think that that's probably where we find the most frustrations is that we're going through something and we can't properly identify it.
Yeah.
In which case, are there any tools like books, podcasts, like
Mhm.
things you watch that you think are like good starting points for people who need to be able to start building up that skill set?
I think that YouTube has been a great tool. Recently I went through a constant rumination issue. The first time in my life I was always an overthinker, but I became a serial overthinker, like obsessively ruminating on everything that's gone wrong. And I think YouTube, I just started searching up exactly what I was thinking and watching therapists talk about it. And I can't remember, it's this lady on YouTube that was talking about like mindfulness and stuff. But just trying like those exercises have been great tools. Staying in the gym is hard with kids,
Mhm.
but that has been a great tool. I'm telling people all the time, like if you have anger issues, anxiety, whatever, get on the Stairmaster. When you're worried about not being able to breathe, you're not worried about what's going on in your life. Like, I be having
It's like
asthma,
these
and I'm
stairs
like,
never end.
no, I started worrying about the Stairmaster, but when you worried about that, you can't worry about that. So and lifting weights, when I'm complaining about how heavy the weights are in my head, I don't have time to complain about my real life, you
Yeah.
know? So, and there's never a day I've gone to the gym that I regretted.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, one time I sprained my wrist, but
Ooh, that'll do it.
that was I'm hard headed. I didn't have right form. But yeah, those are my main tools: YouTube, psychology, therapist, or whatever, and working out.
Yeah.
Really,
Oh my gosh, there's somebody and her whole thing is like mindfulness and her name is like completely escaping me. Something masculine, I'll find it.
I
But
love a
like
good masculine name.
right?
I love it. The Tylers, the Aarons, I love it.
But yeah, no, she very much talks about like what is possible like in the universe and how we can manifest things. And so for you, it's like, how do you like you're very much at a point where it's like where you've been is heavily in the past.
Yeah.
And so as you look forward and as you continue to build for yourself, like what are, your key routines or practices for setting
Mhm.
goals, but then also making sure that they come to fruition?
Um, Honestly, well, my past sometimes is in the present. I still have like nightmares and stuff like that, but I take magnesium. I take my supplements. That helps me to kind of like just stay grounded and stay present.
Mhm.
I take Let Me Chill. That as a mom,
Ooh.
girl, I like that and L-theanine keep me so grounded and so patient with my kids. And just having that routine, the other day on TikTok, I heard someone say that having a routine and showing up for yourself is like a love letter to yourself. So, being that I'm a work from home mom, I have to make sure like I said, I go to the gym. I have to make sure now, like I at least do a little bit of makeup, something that makes me feel feminine because
Yeah.
I'm raising two little girls. I feel like that kind of helps me just stay disciplined and show up for myself in a way where depression doesn't even creep in my mind anymore.
Yeah.
Just because I have small things that I do throughout the day, every day that kind of keep me, excited
Yeah.
for every
Yeah.
day. So yeah.
Yeah. The small wins are
Mhm.
there's this US Navy general, and he did this university speech a couple years ago. I'll find it and properly reference this so that you guys can find it. And he's talking about he's like led people into war, and he's speaking at like Harvard or something like that. He's like, make your bed every morning. Let that be the one thing that you do every single day without fail.
Mm.
And he goes through like a bunch of reasons. Like number one, it's you have this small win for the day. You've made your bed.
Mhm.
Anything else you do, like you've already gotten one thing done. And the second thing is like if you end up having a terrible day, at least you can come home to a well-made bed.
Yeah.
So for you, it's like you're going out to the
Uh,
world very well made up, and at least if you had a bad day, well, you look good going through it.
yeah, girl, I'm telling you. And it's hard to have a bad day when you look good because you pass a mirror and then you're like, I'm a
You're
bad
like, "What am
bitch. So
I even
it's
mad about? I
like, bad day,
look
bad
like this."
bitch. Bad day, bad bitch. Like, you choose.
The small wins are
Yeah.
just are so, so, so important.
Mhm.
Um,
Need my coffee. I gotta have my coffee.
how do you take it?
Honestly, well, my building has, like, a coffee bar now, and so I just
Mm,
been trying all the different flavors. But I used to drink black coffee when I had so-so,
yeah.
because TikTok told me that would make you lose weight, and it made me lose my
Oh,
mind.
did
Anyway, like, I was shaking, but it was good, it was good, but it definitely was interesting. But yeah,
Mm-mm. I
yeah.
find that, like, there are so many things happening in the world that's literally on fire sometimes. Let me have my
Mhm.
sugar.
Girl,
Let me have my
okay.
sweets.
Even if it's stevia, some.
But
Like
if I have to start getting decaf, otherwise I'm like, oh my God, I could run a marathon today. What do I have to do? What do I have going on? Oh my gosh, you need to go over here. Let's go to the
but you know what's crazy? And maybe this might get edited out, but, like, it's better than crack. Like,
park.
it's like, it could be crack. Like, if you're raising kids, you know, like, it's a thin line between coffee and crack.
Oh my
Like,
gosh. Like when you need that, like,
yeah,
honestly, I just need a sweet treat. Like I'm literally just a girl. Like,
girl, like, for real.
so the title of this episode is I Had to Mother Myself First. What does that mean to you today?
Honestly, dismantling the generational curses that plague the women in my family. Sorry, mom. But getting to the root of it because I was the child that was the problem child because I spoke on everything. I didn't sweep under anything under the rug. And doing that and revealing like the generational trauma forced me to realize that, okay, now you know it. What are you going to do about it? Like, you know that this is a trend in your family. So, how are you going to operate with your kids? And that for me, every single day makes me hella intentional with everything, even with the way I talk to them. Like, there are no beatings in my house because we've gotten to the point with communication where my children have never been afraid of a belt.
Yeah.
Like, they can look at a belt and not be like, dang, like she used that on me or something. You know,
Yeah.
like they genuinely just know proper communication. That for me is I'm reparenting myself through them.
Yeah.
Even just going to Disney World, it's not even for them. Like, this ain't about
Yeah,
you.
this is
It's
for
about me.
me.
Like,
The
step
the
aside.
$10
Like,
donut is for me.
like, girl, like my daughter was like, let's go home. I'm not ready yet. I was like, she was like, but mom, it's hot and I'm tired. That's a you problem. Let's go to the gift shop, get you a fan and some water, and let's spin this block. And down the line, hush. Damn it. I'm reparenting myself. She don't realize that. I'm just a girl. I'm a
Yeah.
little girl. So I'm a big kid. Anybody that knows me, I go to the amusement park with my kids. I do everything that I probably would have gotten in trouble for as a kid.
Yeah.
You know, I just and yeah. I
She'll
just
come to appreciate all of that one
mhm,
day.
yeah, yeah.
I
She
think
better.
yeah, I think that's
She's
also
better.
something that, like, we can get to at some point is that, like, our kids can understand what went into us finding and holding on to our peace,
Yeah.
or they have to understand why we were traumatized and unhealed in the way that we were. And for me, it's like, I'd rather you be like, "Okay, I get it now. I get the
Mhm.
peace."
Yeah, and now I'm grateful to have, like, a great relationship with my family, my mom, my granddad, and everybody, and I tell my mom even now, like, no matter what has gone on, no matter how our relationship has transpired, I respect her, still different. There's
Yeah.
no matter what, I still respect my mother, I love her, I honor her, and I see the sacrifice.
Yeah.
And even with me now seeing that as a mother, I know when my kids become mothers, they are going to be like, "Man, she she held it together." Because you know, but no matter what you have or don't have, being a mother is always honorable. So I give her that. I give her flowers,
Yeah.
for real. So,
Yeah.
shout out to you, mom.
For anyone who is, going through that process of breaking generational curses and trauma, what would you say is like your one tip or like piece of
Mhm.
advice to them to kind of just like hold on? Because I'm sure
Mhm.
that there's points that are just difficult.
Yeah. Don't be afraid to isolate yourself. I had to I had to break up with my family a couple times, but I spun that block.
She's
But
hard-headed.
yeah, like, I definitely if you watch my videos and you're a OG, then I'm like, "Cut your family off." I've said it so many times, I've cut my family off. But that's because I had to isolate and I had to dismantle it from the root. And it came with self-sacrifice. Like, I missed a lot of Thanksgivings and Christmases with a tradition. I spent Thanksgivings in the shelter, with strangers. And now being able to be the host of Thanksgiving for my whole family is a big, full circle. But it started with me removing myself from the chaos, healing the chaos within me, and coming back with those lessons and helping my family now heal.
Yeah.
It's like a little mission I had to go on, but
Yeah. Little
don't be
side
afraid.
quest.
Yeah. And if you do go without speaking to your family, pray to God it's not forever and understand life is short because I'm glad that my grandfather's still here that we could now rebuild a relationship.
Yeah.
And that man is messy. He be having me on the phone just gossiping. And I'm like, stop. We're not doing this. You're 80. Like, God. Like, but sometimes they get a little too old to change. Then you just
Oh,
gotta
yeah,
accept
you're
them.
like, "Okay."
Yeah. But I accept my family for who they are. And I feel like it just comes with acceptance after you've gone through the isolation period and stuff and just realizing you can change you, but you can't change them.
Yeah.
So yeah. I just yeah.
She's healed. You're truly
Healing.
truly one of those people who is like, "I turned 30 and I was just wise."
That makes sense. I've been 30 for like 30 minutes, y'all. Yeah, turned 30 in August.
I turned 30 at the end of this month. Oh, do you have any insights for me so far?
Ooh, girl. Honestly, you know what's crazy? 29 is old, but 30 is young.
Yeah.
Because when you're 29, you're like, oh my God, I'm scared to turn 30. When you turn 30, you're like,
Oh.
I'm a baddie.
Oh, no, I'm excited to turn 30
Yeah.
because it's on the 30th too. So it's my champagne birthday. Okay, one last thing that I definitely do just want to touch on is like you've talked about wanting to build a shelter for displaced and orphaned youth.
Mhm.
What is that like? Are you in process with things? Like, is
Yes.
there is there any way that like the people can support you? Like where are we
Mhm.
at with that?
Honestly, I feel like at this point, people can't do nothing but pray. Pray for me because there's a lot of paperwork that goes into it and research and just really getting the right connections.
Yeah.
I feel like that's where I'm at right now, just trying to find the right connections, trying to figure out where I start with funding, and just really trying to educate myself because I done, with my own business, have been all over the place, but when it comes to a shelter, you have other people's lives in your hands. So I wanna do it the right way. So
Yeah.
I would definitely say right now I'm in just the phase of making sure that my funding is something stable because I just don't wanna start something I can't finish.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm trying. I just don't right now, I'm not sure exactly what city that I'm gonna be starting in, but I would love to actually partner with shoot my shot. The shelter I used to live at, the Covenant House in New Jersey.
Yeah.
They have a Covenant House in New York City and New Jersey, and for anybody that's, like, 18 to 21, I'm not sure if that's still the age. If you need somewhere to go, I will forever recommend them.
Yeah.
The resources are crazy, so I would love to partner with them and see how I could even start with just researching through them
Yeah.
and hopefully opening up my own chain of the Covenant House or
Yeah.
branch of the Covenant House.
We have one in Toronto.
I would love that. You have one in Toronto?
We do.
Really?
We do. I know people who've been there. I've heard good things.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
Covenant House is definitely it.
Or maybe better word. I've heard safe things.
It's safe?
There we go.
Well, yeah, 'cause I was about to
Yeah.
say, good?
I'm like, good. I don't
Yeah.
know. But
It is it's a
relatively,
yeah. It's as good
relative to
as
circumstance.
yeah. It's the best option, I feel like, if you're in that situation.
Okay. So, in closing, for the mom who's exhausted and unsure if she'll ever get out of her current circumstances, what would you say to her today?
The days are long, but the years
Years
are
are
short.
short.
Yes, that's my favorite. That's my favorite saying right now. Like,
It
literally
gets me. It has gotten me through the years and the
girl,
days.
I be looking at my kids like bedtime is in 2 hours, but I'm like, literally, this 2-hour period of them running around screaming isn't gonna matter next year. It's not.
Mm-mm.
Get through the day because you don't appreciate things until they're in memory for real.
Yeah.
So, I watch what I say, I watch how I say it, I watch my own patience because 'cause I'm like, it could be the smallest thing in this short little day that could change their entire life,
Yeah.
you know? So I'm very appreciative. Period. Very appreciative of that saying.
Okay, and very lastly, what's one belief you've never let go of no matter how bad things got?
It's another saying, but this is a chapter, not my entire story. And now I'm also writing 2 books. Very, very grateful for this journey, and it's a lot. It's
I
a
know, like,
whole
she
lot.
stays
It's
busy.
very yeah, yeah. My managers are like, "Girl, where the next chapter at?" And I'm like, "I'm busy."
It's coming. I'm
It's
making
a
mac and
lot.
cheese right now.
Yes, yo, it's really a lot. But honestly, just even through writing the chapters, I realized that each thing was a chapter. And right now, this is gonna be a chapter that I look back on and stuff like that. So I try not to take life too serious because I feel
Yeah.
like the key people think the key to life is some big final ending and finale. I think the key to life is just living, enjoying it while you have it, you know? It's for now, not forever. So,
Oh,
yeah, double tap.
oh my gosh, I love this. I love
Yeah,
you.
I love you.
Thank you
Thank you
so
so much
much
for
for
having me,
coming.
Crystal. Oh my
The nails are good.
girl, they're giving mother.
Good. Thank you for watching.
Thank you. Like,
That's all I got.
subscribe, follow,
There we
share
go.
it with your
Thank you.
friends. I got you, girl. I got you.